Hello everyone, thank you for tuning in to another Café Con. My name is Maria Fernanda Perez. I'm an assistant director at the Adrian Latin America Center, the Atlanta Council. And today we are live from Antigua, Guatemala. Dr. Stein, thank you so much for joining me for this Café Con. Dr. Stein was VP for Guatemala from 2004 to 2008. He was also Minister of Foreign Affairs from 96 to 2000. And he is our co-chair for Guatemala for the Northern Triangle Task Force. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Welcome.
Dr. Stein, I wanted to start off the conversation by asking you what you thought about the poll that we commissioned as the Atlanta Council. Did anything surprise you?
Well, I must say that in general, what we saw in most of the responses of the people was an enormous frustration and I would say a generalized mistrust of public institutions, mostly in the area of justice and the fiscal administration. In other words, the population in general is rejecting basically widespread signs of corruption.
Thank you. And today we met, we had our first private task force meeting. What do you see as the ultimate goal of this task force for Guatemala specifically?
Well, taking into consideration that the task force is a joint effort between the three members or countries that comprise the so-called Northern Triangle in Central America, that we share a lot of common problems, although with very specific characteristics each country. I would say that Guatemala will definitely benefit from a systematization of strategic areas in which we must work together with common goals. And also, Guatemala will benefit from a clearer and more transparent understanding between the Northern Triangle countries and the United States, not only in foreign policy proper, but in other areas of cooperation.
Great. The other question I have for you is that Guatemala is very different from El Salvador and Honduras in that you have a very large indigenous population. And this dialogue between the indigenous population and the rest of the country is very important. We have on our task force a member from the indigenous community. Do you think that the task force will help improve the dialogue? Is there a dialogue between both sides?
Fortunately, there is. I must say that since the signing of the peace accords in Guatemala 20 years ago, by the way, this year is the 20th anniversary, there has been an opening of windows and doors of mutual understanding between indigenous and non-indigenous population in many registers. However, not as fast as we would want it to be, not as deep yet as we would want it to be. There is still a prevalent racism in Guatemala, in the non-indigenous population mostly. So I think that something as refreshing as what the task force is trying to do will help out in oxygenating this relationship of mutual respect, of valuing the diversity that the country is comprised of.
Great. Dr. Stein, thank you so much for joining me for this Café Con.
Thank you.
And I look very much forward to working with you.
Thank you very much.